Welcome to Alive to Thrive OT. I'm Tracy Schnabel.
And I'm Lauren Lyman.
And we are two occupational therapists, as you know, that noticed a gap in the healthcare system. Predominantly, we noticed that nutrition wasn't really being looked at and emotional health wasn't really being looked at. So we decided to start a YouTube channel just for you, for free. And these videos are for informational purposes only. We do not guarantee the information or give any warranties for the information. We're just providing it to you so that you can be better empowered to have better health care and better self-care. So if you do have a specific medical issue, please talk to one of your medical providers that's appropriate for that medical issue. And if it's a medical emergency, please call 911. With that being said, I'm going to allow Lauren to introduce our topic.
So today we are talking about how to protect your body against technology. So this isn't like a crazy conspiracy theory kind of topic here. Technology, as it advances, changes the frequency of our bodies and changes the frequency of our planet if it's on a wide enough scale. Yeah. So why is that important? Well, our bodies need to be at a certain frequency in order to survive. And as your frequency drops, you get to the point of like 70 is okay, and then you get down to 60 and you might get some colds or some viruses. You get down to like 40s, we're talking about cancer. Get down to the 20s, you start dying, and then 0 is dead. So we want to keep our frequencies up as much as possible. So we have to make sure that we are doing things to avoid it lowering too much and doing things to counteract those frequencies. And also you want to make sure you're detoxing whatever's in your body. You want to make sure you're getting it out and it's not getting stuck. So
yeah, again, we're electrical beings. Mm-hmm. So that when she's talking about frequency, so like our brain is electrical, our heart is electrical, and there's a measurable frequency, and it goes up or down depending on how well state of health you're in or how poor state your health in. Just to give you a little background if you haven't seen our other videos.
So we're going to go through some strategies. The first and most important thing is to avoid the technology altogether. Obviously, no, I'm not crazy, and how am I going to get by in this world without technology? I hear ya, I do. But there are ways that we can semi-avoid. I know we can't completely get rid of the technology. So one is don't buy that new phone. Don't buy the newer technology with the latest and greatest. Do you really need it? Are you getting by with the technology that you have? Is the next big thing really going to influence your life that much where you need it? So don't get caught up in the materialistic aspect of the new technology. Think about, do I really need this? And is it worth a health risk? And yeah, to some people it might be, and that's your personal choice. That's up to you. I'm not here to say nobody get new phones ever, but if you're battling cancer, if you're dealing with chronic health issues, is this the best choice for you? So turn it in airplane mode whenever you do not need signal. So if you're like when I'm putting him down for his nap, I don't want anyone calling me. I just put it in airplane mode because I don't need those signals coming through. I don't need my phone. I don't have a house phone, so I don't have the opportunity to put it in airplane mode a lot, but whenever I get the opportunity, I do. For those of you that do have a house phone, put it in airplane mode at night or turn it off at night completely. Same things happening there. So cut off that signal at night because you have your house phone. So make sure everyone knows your house phone number, and if there's an emergency, they can call that number.
That's a good idea.
Turn off your Wi-Fi when you don't need it. So on my phone, I only turn my Wi-Fi on when I'm using the internet, and it's not hard. I mean, I just swipe up and push the Wi-Fi button. It's really, it's not that inconvenient. So, also, your router, turn off Wi-Fi when you're not using it. So at night, you can actually program your router to turn off at night so that...
I didn't know that.
You don't need your Wi-Fi while you're sleeping, right? But those signals are still getting emitted while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
so
just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Like in a video we just watched recently, if you send a text message to China, how do you think it's getting there? Like those signals, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean it's not affecting you.
Right. And then if you do have a router that you can't program, it's not working out well for you. Mine is like you can schedule people. It's like a parental control where you can schedule them to not be allowed to access it. but not allowing access is not the same as turning off. So what I do is you buy a Christmas light timer, and then you set it to be off from whatever PM to whatever AM that you want to have it off at. So there are ways around the technology. Think, back to the basics. Christmas light timer. That's all you need. All right. So another thing would be to buy a shield that will deflect the radiation in another direction. So I have a safe sleeve, and we've talked about this in our other video about phones, but I have a safe sleeve on my phone. So when I'm talking on my phone, the radiation is shooting out the back. When I'm texting on my phone, the radiation's in the front, so it's not, on my hand or on my lap or, wherever. So you do want to keep your phone away from your physical body as much as possible. If I don't absolutely need to have a private phone call, I put my phone on speaker, which is like 99.9% of the time. Yeah. So just consider that. Keep it away from your physical body as much as possible. Keep it in a purse rather than in your pocket. Men, keep it out of that front pocket if you don't want to have sterility issues or testicular cancer. Women, keep it out of your bra if you don't want breast cancer. People, it's been shown that people who are carrying their phones against their head, neck tumors and brain tumors are on the rise in this country. And we don't necessarily know why, but everyone's on cell phones all the time. And it uses microwave technology that literally, if you use thermal imaging, heats up your brain, heats up your head.
Yeah, my dad used to say, my dad fixed x-ray equipment, and he always said, never get an x-ray if you don't have to, and stay away from the microwave.
Yes. Yeah, some countries don't even have microwaves because they're dangerous. They don't allow them.
Oh, yeah, New Zealand people didn't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That much. I'm sure some people did.
So another thing, the shields can get a little pricey. It was $50 for the one for my phone. The ones for the laptops are even more. Another thing that you can do with your phone at night, if you do absolutely need it on, put it in a metal wastebasket. Yeah. You can buy it on Amazon for $15-$20. The way that it's woven together so closely, and it's a metal conductor, it doesn't allow the radiation through.
That's cool.
So that's another option too.
Yeah.
They have the fancy boxes you can buy for them, but if a wastebasket works, why not, right?
Yeah.
Also with the fancy boxes, cover up your routers with those too. So your router you don't want within 10 feet of you at any time. So if you have your router in an area that people are frequenting and people are close to, cover it so that those radiation signals aren't getting out.
Yeah. And be aware of how long, you are using technology and try to limit that. I don't want to give an exact amount of time, but I was just saying to Lauren that my iPhone told me how much screen time I had during a given week, and I was shocked. So just be cognizant of how long am I spending every day and limit it.
Right. As I'm using my phone for my notes, right? So the next thing, avoidance is obviously the best, but not always feasible. So the next thing would be to counteract the lowering of your frequencies. So raise your frequencies. So what are things that you can do to get your frequencies back up where you're doing good, you're fighting disease, you're fighting cancer, you're fighting viruses, you're healthy? So one of the most important things you can do is grounding. So that is literally going outside and connecting with the earth. And I know that sounds like, wow, that's so hippie. But take your shoes off, take your socks off. Again, we're electrical beings. So that energy from the earth transfers into us and we become an extension of the earth. So all of that talk in the 70s, they knew what they were talking about, guys. It's scientifically proven. So we become an extension of the earth, but you can't have your rubber-soled shoes on. You have to get your socks off, get your shoes off, and really connect with nature. So when I'm around my house, I don't wear shoes and socks. If I'm in my backyard, my son does not wear shoes and socks unless it's cold out or snowing or whatever. But yeah, as long as it's safe, you're safe from environmental hazards, you don't need to wear your shoes and socks outside. You shouldn't.
Yeah. Being in nature just makes you feel better. So even if you think that's strange that you're telling me to do this, try it and then see how you feel. I feel a lot better.
Or if you feel really weird about it, or you're at the park and you can't because you're like, this is awkward, then just like lean against a tree with your bare hand. Or if it's winter and you're, a colder season where you're not comfortable taking your shoes off because it's cold, touch nature. Touch it with your hands in some way. Get your skin against nature. And you want to be outside 20 minutes every single day of your life.
Yeah.
So try to get out there. Even when it's cold, try to get outside. Get that natural environment into you.
I read a study that it was as effective for kids with ADHD and people with depression to get outside for 20 minutes a day as medication was. So I'm not, again, like saying every choice is yours personally, but try the least restrictive first. So if you know nature can help, try the safest one, see how it works out. I was feeling like really weird the past couple weeks, and I went outside in nature right away in the morning for a half hour. I felt totally different. My day totally turned around. So just give it a shot. Yeah.
And then second best thing to grounding, this is not a replacement for grounding because actually contacting the earth is your best bet. Yeah. But something that you can do at night is sleep on a grounding mat. So you can make your own, look it up on YouTube how to do it, or you can purchase one. It's obviously going to be more expensive if you purchase one. But basically you're connecting. Some of them have wires that connect to your electrical circuit, the ground. Your electrical circuit has to be grounded, so it connects to that. Some of them, you literally like have a string out your window to the ground and like in the ground. So it connects that mat that you're lying on to the ground outside, and that helps you ground too. And again, that's not the ideal situation, but obviously we're not going to be sleeping outside. So it's great for nighttime to really raise your frequencies.
Yeah, I feel so much better when I use mine. It's just I forget to plug it in.
So that's grounding. The next one is the use of crystals. So right here, I have an orgonite crystal on. Black tourmaline is also a good one for helping convert negative energy to positive energy. I also have an orgonite pyramid, this is like a chakra pyramid, so it has each of the colors of the chakras, or each crystal associated with that chakra. But these pyramids, these necklaces, they help to transfer all of that negative energy into positive energy, meaning that low frequency energy, it raises the frequencies. So this raises the frequency of my room. It sucks up all of that router, the router that's sitting over there, it sucks that up and it helps raise the frequency so that it's not as damaging to the environment. So it's great for anyone who's sitting in the room, like my dog, who's not going to be wearing a necklace. My son, who's a little too young to be wearing jewelry, I just keep it. You can keep it under his crib. You can keep it on your nightstand. The best place to keep these is next to the technology. So right next to your router would be good, or at night, right next to your phone if you do have your phone in your room. But also next to your physical body. So I don't sleep with the necklace on. So I keep this on my nightstand, so it's next to me. So I have it.
And if you think it's kind of strange using crystals, we use crystals with ultrasound therapy. There's a crystal on the ultrasound head, and it's highly effective. There's so many ways we use crystals in everyday society because it's a power source and it has its own energetic frequency, which is a really good frequency, and that's why it works.
So crystals, that's another one. Essential oils is a great one. Aromatherapy. Essential oils have very, very, very high frequencies. Like we're talking hundreds and we only need 80, right? So certain frequencies like frankincense, that's like the one that Jesus used, rose, things like that. Those are the really high potency essential oils, and those help raise our frequencies. Those are our spiritual oils. So people who are meditating or doing yoga or things like that, they tend to go to those high frequency oils to help get their spirituality in check, basically, to help raise their spirituality.
Or if you have problems sleeping, you could use it because sleep will also raise your frequency if you get good sleep. So I've been using like lilac and lavender, and I didn't think it was going to really work because I've been having such bad sleep problems lately, and it put me out immediately. So again, just try it and see.
Again, with essential oils, we've talked about this before. You want to make sure you're using a high-grade therapeutic oil. Make sure it's therapeutic grade. Make sure it's sourced from a reliable company. And you don't want a perfume grade one because those are synthetic. They have chemicals in them and they're going to lower your frequencies. So you want to make sure they're natural, the true extract of that plant.
We're also essential oil distributors, and we know about the oils. So if you want to contact us, we could also give you a consultation on what would be good for you to use.
Yeah, so email us at alive2thriveot@gmail.com and we can help you out. So moving on from essential oils, we have meditation, yoga, positive thinking. All these things are kind of interconnected. So negative thoughts can actually lower your frequencies. Positive thoughts can raise your frequency. And again, this has been scientifically proven. So positive people tend to have a higher frequency and tend to get sick less and tend to attract more higher frequency people. And it's like this upward spiral. It's great. So be positive. Train yourself to be positive. And if you need help with that, we have a video on the attitude of gratitude. So enter that in our search bar and check it out. You can literally train your brain to be more positive. So if it's going to help your health, like, do it.
Fake it till you make it. If you don't feel happy, force yourself to smile. And they said that people that do that actually feel better, even though they're resistant to it at first.
You build a habit to it, just like anything else. Over time, it becomes a habit of being, and then the habits become a lifestyle of being positive and being happy. So go for it. Make yourself healthy. And then participating in enjoyable activities. Do things that are fun for you, because you're going to release endorphins. Everyone knows about endorphins. So you're going to release endorphins, and that makes you feel better, and that gets your mood up, and that gets your frequency up. So go out there and have fun.
Yeah, even though I was like working full time, and I think as adults we have so many responsibilities, like, you know, taking care of your children, taking care of the things at work that you're responsible for, taking care of your home, taking care of your elderly parents. You forget to do things that you enjoy, and it makes such a big difference. I mean, people looked at me like I was nuts when I used to like work at the VA full time, and then I would go to jujitsu afterwards for like 2 hours at night. They're like, you go to jujitsu after this? But I felt so much better when I was doing that after I left. Yeah, it was hard getting in there, but after I left, I would maybe have the worst day and be like, life is horrible, I hate everyone and everything, and I would be just really upset. And then I would come out like, everything's good, all the people at jiu-jitsu were awesome, I feel great. So it really does make a difference doing things you love to do and remembering like what you love to do.
And the days where you really don't want to do them, those are the days that you need them, right? Because if you're in a great mood, you're like, I'm going to go outside, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to do all these cool things. And when you're having a bad day, you just want to have your bad day and sit in that bad day.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you want to take a bad day once a month, take your bad day. But don't make it a routine. Don't get stuck in I'm going to have a bad day every single day this week, because you'll probably get sick.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of a bad spiral.
Yeah. So, other thing is you want to keep your body the pH in your body more towards alkaline. So we talk about pH in terms of chemicals, because we like to talk about the chemical body, but pH is actually a measurement of frequency. I don't know why we changed it to chemical. You know, people have their agendas, but it was frequency. It's a measurement of frequency. So if you keep your body a little more alkaline, meaning avoid the acidic foods and things like that, you can get your body a little more higher in the frequencies. Keep you healthier. Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's really good. We went to a conscious living lecture, and they're talking about apple cider vinegar being really great for you. And then obviously eating less processed food. And then you could get like these little testing strips to test your pH. One of my coworkers gave us that to check every day. So yeah, if you have a more alkaline environment, it's associated with having less disease.
Because again, alkaline means high frequency.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. Oh, and then also sound therapy is really good for you. So I'm forgetting the hertz right now.
Oh, yeah. To raise your frequencies with frequencies.
Yeah. So that's really good for you. One time my friend was playing Gregorian chant. So that can really help look up positive frequency for sound healing. And you can really improve your frequency just by listening to something at a certain hertz.
Right. So if you're listening to a high frequency sound, I'm not saying it's going to pierce your eardrums. There are some nice things on YouTube where you can look up healing frequencies, positive vibration frequencies. Like, different frequencies do different things for you. And they've actually been using frequencies to treat things like drug addiction. It's really interesting.
And in other countries, they use it to treat cancer. They don't allow it here, but they use it.
Because again, if your frequencies are high, your goal is to get your frequencies so high that disease cannot exist in your body. You want to be a terrible host for disease. And the best way to do that, you want to be a bad host. You don't want to be like, oh, welcome, come on in, enjoy my negativity and my hatred for the world. They love that. Cancer loves that. Yeah. So you want to raise your frequencies up high enough so that cancer says, oh, like, I tried, I failed, I can't live in this positive environment.
Yeah, and your body wants to help you. It really is trying its best. So you just have to help yourself. And also, you want your cells to vibrate at a high frequency, because our cells are moving and receiving signals and receiving vibrations from food and everything that we come into contact with. So the goal is just to have it vibrate at a high level so that, again, diseases like cancer that destroy cellular function cannot thrive.
Right. You don't want a sluggish body. Think sluggish. You want to be sluggish? No. Like, it sounds unattractive, and it is for your body. It's not good. So... All right, so that's the second thing you want to do, is try to raise your frequencies. The third thing you want to do is try to avoid lowering your frequency. So that means limit, like Tracy just said, limit your processed food. The frequency of processed food, 0, because it's not a living thing. It's not real. Yeah. So fruits and vegetables have frequencies because they're plants, they're life, they're real. Everything living in this world has a frequency, but processed food was man-made. It was made in a lab. It was manufactured. So there's no frequency. So all it's going to do is bring down your frequency. For those of you who enjoy coffee, I'm so sorry to tell you, just smelling coffee can lower your frequency.
Just smelling it?
Just smelling it. Drinking 1 sip of coffee can lower your frequency. I think it was by 7 or 10, which, I mean, if we're talking like 70 is healthy and 60 is virus, 7 to 10 is kind of a big deal.
Wow.
But good news, if after you drink your coffee, have your cup of coffee, Tracy's drinking some right now, I'm going to hand her some essential oil, take a whiff, counteracts.
Yeah, that's what my friend does to me when I'm, like, having a bad day. He'll bring out the rose that you mentioned, wave it, and I'm like, Steven, what is this going to do? Like, seriously, like, I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm going to throw up. He'll, like, take it, whiff it. Instantly, I feel better.
Raising your frequency. And it's all, remember, everything's connected. Mind, body, spirit, all connected. All right, so another thing you want to avoid, like we talked about, positive thoughts, right? You don't want to get stuck in the slump of negative thinking, because negativity, law of attraction, negativity attracts negativity, and then eventually your life just sucks. So... Your frequency gets so low. If you don't have anything to counteract that, surround yourself with positive people. Attract positivity.
I had a boyfriend that thought, like an ex-boyfriend that thought everything was horrible, like the world was bad, people were bad, his life was bad. So I told him, I really don't think that's true, and we had these two different views, but he was like in a bad state a lot of times, and I was like, everything's great. But like, imagine I told him, like, me versus him, I'm not saying I never have a negative day, but like going through the day, like you might magnify like everything bad that anybody does or maybe unintentionally does as like being intentional versus noticing, like, I try to be grateful for anything anybody does. And I feel like people do a lot of nice things every day, all the time. And including in his life, he had a lot of people, like family members, myself, like a great job, people that like cared and were doing things all day long, but he's not seeing them or registering them. He's only seeing the bad. So when you walk through it a whole day, I wish we could do like a little video like of what the same day would look like with two different perspectives. It's going to be so much worse if you have that negative perspective.
You have to shift your focus. And again, check out our video on the attitude of gratitude, because we talk about keeping a gratitude journal and how it actually really does help, because it forces you to pay attention to things you're grateful for rather than focusing on the things that you're upset about.
I didn't think about it working like that. Yeah. That's what it's shifting your focus.
It's like that saying, like, I think it's, if you think you're going to fail, you're right.
Yeah, I love that saying.
Yeah, because you're already setting yourself up for failure. So, whatever you think, you can will things to be. And that is true. If you're a very positive person, you're like, you know what? This is going to work out. This is going to be fine. It probably will be, because you are not only being positive, but the law of attraction, you're attracting higher frequencies to you. And higher frequency is positivity, is success, is everything good.
Yeah.
So get rid of those negative thoughts and get rid of stressors. So is this job that's causing, you're working 12, 15 hours a day, you're coming home, you're exhausted, literally the only thing you can do is like shove a burger in your mouth and go to bed. Is this worth it? Right? Is it worth it for your health? Because that stress is lowering your frequency to the point where you're exposing yourself to disease. And if you have a chronic disease, now that's something else bad in your life that you have to deal with, right?
I had a friend, she has her master's degree in OT. She quit OT and she's working at like a Petco, like with animals, because she loves animals. Probably took like a huge pay cut and less benefits, like so many things, but she's happy now. So it's really,
that's it. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, perspective. What's going to make you happy?
Right. Material things really can't, but we'll,
talk about
we won't be cliche about that. So say no to people.
Yeah.
That's a hard one, because especially if you're like an empath, or if you're someone who feels guilty for not helping other people, just remember you cannot pour from an empty cup. If your frequencies are low and you're sick, you're not going to be able to help anybody. So why don't you just do what you can to keep your frequencies high, help out when you want to and when you can, and then when you're really not able to, say, I'm sorry, I'd love to help you, but I can't.
I have plans, and that could be plans with yourself. You don't have to justify anything to others. And when you say yes to others and you don't want to say yes, you're saying no to yourself, and you're draining your most prized possession or most prized thing is your energy. So if you're giving your energy away to everybody but yourself, that just is silly.
And as a mom, this is something that I really struggled with, because you put your kids first, right? You always put your kids first. But think about it. If you're not taking care of yourself, if you've been really stressed out and you're trying to take care of your child, are you snapping at your kid more? Are you getting mad at him for doing something that normally wouldn't make you that mad? Are you behaving in the way that you really want to behave or act towards your child? And if the answer is no, I'm telling you, your frequencies are low. You're not taking care of yourself. You have too many stressors. You need to take a step back, find someone to watch your kid for the day, or have your significant other help out or whatever, and do one thing for you, and you'll feel a lot better. Or take your kid outside, go for a walk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your kids will love it. Yeah.
Oh, that makes a huge difference in our day. So, limit the things that lower your frequency. The last thing is detox. So, and I'm not saying get on one of those crazy detox fads or whatever. I don't buy into that stuff, because my body knows how to detox, because my body has been doing it my whole life. Our human race has been doing it forever. I don't look for help in that area. What I do is I do things to stimulate my body's natural ability to detox. So we have different detox routes in our body. One of them is our urine. So you want to make sure you're drinking enough water. I say this in so many videos. Geez, take your body weight in pounds, divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking minimum every day. Water. So drink plenty of water so that you can pee out your toxins. Sweat is another route. So you want to get enough exercise, get out in the heat, saunas. Be careful what type, because again, technology, but saunas are really good for you, because they allow you to sweat out the toxins. Stool, your poop, is another way that you get out toxins. So you want to make sure you're taking a probiotic. Apple cider vinegar is a great natural probiotic, and that you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, because that helps clear everything out as well.
Fiber.
And then the last is lymphatic drainage. So your lymph system. You have lymph nodes in different points of your body, and the more you move, and the more people who can't move, the more you're brushing up to those lymph nodes. They take all of the waste. Lymph is fluid that literally means waste. It's just waste in your body. So it's your body's garbage disposal system. So you want to make sure your lymphatic system's working properly. The best way is to exercise. The second best way is to take a lymph brush and drain for people who maybe have physical limitations and can't exercise. And I'm not saying exercise like get out there and run a marathon. I mean, you can just go outside and take a walk, and that's good exercise. So get that lymph fluid. That usually dumps into the urine too, and it comes out that way. But I thought it was important to mention that separately.
Yeah.
So those are my tips. Yeah. First, you want to avoid the technology, the higher technology as much as possible, whether that means, avoiding it altogether or limiting throughout the day. Second, you want to raise your frequencies. Third, you want to avoid lowering your frequencies. And fourth, you want to make sure you're supporting your body's natural ability to detox. Anything further, if you need further detoxification, please consult with a doctor, because there are strategies through vitamins and IVs and things like that can help you further detox. But please consult with your medical provider. And again, if you're looking for essential oils, if you're looking for life coaching, some strategies to help you out, please send us an email at alivetothrivot@gmail.com. So thank you. Please like our video, share it with your friends and family. I think a lot of people could benefit from it. So please share. Subscribe to our channel, sign up for alerts so you know when we post videos. Also, check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Lauren and Tracy. We'll post videos there and maybe some articles and things. And then send us an email at alivetothrivot@gmail.com if you're interested in the whole food nutritional product that we use, we love, we share with people. And if you're interested in essential oils, or if you're interested in getting a life coach.
And as usual, we are wishing you physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.